Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say the words to remember.
Guys, what's up? I'm gonna keep this intro on the briefer side, but I've been suggested to do a top 5 strongest inmates video, and I wasn't sure if the user was referring to, anyone who's been in prison in Baki, any inmate, or specifically the death row inmates from their specific arc. So I've decided to do a top 5 death row inmates and throw in, a top 5 inmates list just in general as a little bonus. So, without further ado, I think that pretty much sums it up, so let's dive right in. Number 5. Sikorsky. Sikorsky is quite strong, likely being only slightly weaker than Spec. Sikorsky also mutilated one of the strongest fighters in the Maximum Tournament, Alexander Gallon, though he was still wounded from his fight with Jack at the time. Sikorsky is strong, but he spends the majority of his time on the show getting his ass kicked and his nuts mashed. They're gonna have to start calling Gaia and Baki Agent Flowers, because they done made Sikorsky a woman. In any case, while he is powerful, he simply doesn't have the tricks or the skill to deal with number 4, 2, and 1 on this list, and he doesn't have the raw strength to deal with number 3 or number 1. Number 4. Hector Doyle. While this spot and the number 3 spot could swap based on variables like available weapons, environment, and other things, normally I'd place Hector Doyle at number 4. If Doyle has access to his flower bomb as well as his full arsenal, he could very likely defeat even number 2. But normally, Doyle likely doesn't have what it takes to deal with number 3's raw power or number 2's tricks. That said, Doyle's more than able to place number 1 given the prep time and knowledge. In terms of strength, he's likely the second weakest inmate, placing only above Yanagi. But with his joint blades, spring punch, and chest blast, he was able to defeat the likes of Kosho Koreha easily, and he was able to hurt all of a biscuit. And he was able to keep up with a weapons-using Retsu, though he did lose badly in the end. All in all, he's definitely a threat, but he's not impossible to deal with. Number 3. Spec. Spec was able to basically destroy the Statue of Liberty in 20 hits from his apnea rush technique. Not a single other inmate has actual feats or showings of strength that impressive, and number 1 only places higher in strength via scaling, not feats. This dude is a physical tank, and his apnea rush makes him almost impossible to defeat unless you're as strong as him, you have high pain tolerance, or both like Hanayama. Even if you can deal with his overwhelming strength and his apnea rush technique, he also has all of his nasty tricks, like him not being above using guns or flashbangs, as Hanayama can attest to. Number 2. Ryuko Yanagi. Personally my least favorite convict, Ryuko Yanagi is definitely number 5 in terms of strength, and number 2 in terms of an actual fight. Yanagi is the smallest and physically weakest inmate, being comparable to the physically weak old man Shibukawa, who is only one of the strongest characters in Baki due to his Aiki technique. That said, he's got his fair amount of weapons like his rope sickles, tiger claw, and his katana, but his real threat lies in his techniques and the hidden poison within them. The vacuum palm, while an impractical move to land, guarantees a one-hit victory if it lands, force-feeding opponents a 6% oxygen level, inducing a knockout and possibly even death due to the lack of oxygen quality. Another nasty trick Yanagi has up his sleeve is his signature move, the Benda technique, or the whip strike. The slaps of Benda aren't at all damaging at worst and barely damaging at most. The secret lies in the pain it produces, as it is said that even normal Benda is comparable to a real whip, which is so painful that most people's bodies shut down and rather die than continue to take that pain after 10 hits if I remember correctly. Yanagi is considered to be the best Benda user in the world. That is of course until it's revealed that Baki not only knows Benda, but is superior to Yanagi, and much later on in the series, spoilers for the Baki vs. Yujiro fight. It is later revealed that Yujiro also knows Benda, and he is truly the world's best. With Yanagi's Benda likely being far superior than the pain of killing in just 10 hits for a normal person. Yanagi's Benda can likely kill anyone on the list quite quickly, and even if it doesn't, the poison from his poison hand would be fed directly into the opponent's bloodstream, sentencing them to a quick, painful, and certain death. The only reason number 1 places above Yanagi is they are much physically stronger, and they're likely as skilled as Yanagi or more skilled, and they have even better techniques. Number 1, the only one left, Dorian Kyo. Dorian seems to be about as strong as Retsu at full strength, only losing to Retsu so badly at the end of his time on the show because he had been badly hospitalized by Doppo just hours prior. Now, if you guys remember, Katsumi actually lost in one hit to a serious Retsu during the Maximum Tournament, and even in a later sparring match, Retsu was able to defeat Katsumi. Katsumi during the Maximum Tournament actually fought and defeated Hanayama with the Mach Punch. Now, Katsumi is able to tell that by the time he defeated Hanayama once, Hanayama could have defeated him 3 times. So it's likely that Hanayama is considerably stronger than Katsumi, and we do see that in their fight. But Retsu was strong enough to one-shot Katsumi, meaning it's extremely likely that Retsu, and by extension Dorian, is a fair bit stronger than Hanayama based on what we've seen. If that's the case, then Dorian is likely quite a bit stronger than 3rd place and 2nd physically strongest inmate Spec, or at the very least as strong as him with a lot more tricks on top of being an out-of-practice Kyo. He probably has the strength advantage on Spec, he's way more skilled, has better tricks, and of course Dorian has his hypnosis to fall back on. Now guys, this next part has a lot of spoilers for the next season of the anime that's coming up soon, hopefully. So if you want to click off now, thank you guys for watching, leave a like if you liked the video, comment about what you want to see in the next video, and subscribe to my channel if you want to keep seeing this kind of content. And I'll see you guys in the next video. So, topping off the list as way stronger than Dorian, probably able to destroy him in a couple hits, if even that, is Ernesto Che Guevara. And topping off right above him, as previously the strongest prisoner in the world and the world's freest man, it's America's #1 Mr. Unchained, Oliver Biscuit. And coming in at number 1 as technically the strongest prisoner ever in the entire series, stronger than Oliver, Che, and all 5 death row inmates, and, well, at this point in the series, currently speaking, could probably take them all on at once and still win. That's right, it's Baki Hanma. So for those of you who stuck around to the end of this part, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, leave a like if you liked the video, comment what you want to see if you want to suggest something for me to cover. Subscribe to the channel if you want to stick around and see if your suggestions go through, if your likes are reaching me and I'm learning what kind of content you guys want. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.